Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 10. Not as, I guess you would say, action-packed as the previous episodes. Still a good episode, but definitely kind of a falling action type of moment. You know, it would be, I would say last episode was probably the climax. This is maybe a little bit the climax, and then into the falling action. So we start off where we left off last episode with Endeavor burning up Shigaraki, him stabbing both Endeavor and Bakugo. Bakugo falling out of the sky. We don't really have any status on Bakugo currently, because it just kind of like went out. We then hear All For One's voice, followed by basically Deku showing kind of full power. Shigaraki finally touches Deku, and we think that he's going to lose his power. So in this world, as you can see, Deku being only able to use really 30% of One For All. That's the only part of his body that's showing. So I'm assuming that's how it works, being that he can only master a certain part of it in this realm. He can only function to a certain extent. What you see here is One For All basically trying to fully control Shigaraki. He's actually morphing out of his body in this realm, and he kind of explains that when he takes somebody's quirk, he actually can have bad dreams. Basically, the people that originally had that quirk like coming after him and attacking him. But once he gets rid of the quirk, he no longer has that issue anymore. And he does typically get rid of those quirks because he even says, he holds a grudge. So it's kind of interesting to see how his quirk works. We got a little bit further explanation there, that there are some side effects to taking people's quirks all the time, and that it's going to be harder to take All For One because One For All rather, because you have 7 or 8 previous users that are like, yeah, no, we're good. We're going to stay with Deku. We're not going over there to Shigaraki. Shigaraki says he hates his grandmother. He hates One For All. And he really is trying to kill both of them in this world. What we have here is basically just a bunch of heroes, kind of save the citizen type scenario, if you will, in that section. One For All is like, I never thought I'd see you again. He was kind of confused. He was like, that's your grandmother, kind of explaining the situation. This is him kind of talking more about that transference, if you will. As you said, however, once I part with that quirk, I never dream of its owner again. So that's kind of interesting. He gets terrified in his dream. He even talks about not having a conscience. He talks about that the blood, all of this blood is on Deku's hands. He couldn't defend his teacher. He couldn't defend one of his masters, and that if he just submitted and gave his power back, then none of this would have happened, and all of these people wouldn't have died. So he's trying to put the blame solely on Deku, which Nana here, the 7th user of One For All, is basically, saying, no, that's not the case. Then we have the first user appear as well, and they're both kind of reiterating that the reason they chose him is because he's very much like All Might. He puts others before himself. He truly wishes to save people. He gets angry on behalf of people for their inabilities as well, to a certain extent, and they pretty much want nothing to do with Shigaraki. All For One is pretty confident that if him and Shigaraki team up, they can take over the power, but Shigaraki really wants nothing to do with that. So he's trying to use his quirk Decay in this world. He's trying to use it on All For One, and the transfer doesn't happen, essentially. We then hear basically saying, don't lose consciousness. It's time to retreat. It's time to get you the quirk transfers. The kind of the perfect Nomu status, if you will, to 100%. We then kind of go to Giga here and the League of Villains, or Paranormal Liberation Front, whatever you want to call it. With them kind of running away, the heroes closing in on them. Basically, I can't remember this guy's name. They call him Longhair. Is it Skeptic? I think that one is Skeptic. Toga, on the other hand, this was kind of a cutesy moment between her and Mr. Compress. She wants to ask Deku and Uraka, basically what they want to do with her to a certain extent. That's what the question comes down to in the other part of this episode. So she wants to take some gear because Uraka's in the area, and she jumps off of him. Ends up killing an old woman for blood, as we'll see in a moment here. Spinner basically says, take care. You better come back to us. Like, don't die. This is the old woman as she takes over. Kind of run away. We get a little flashback. And then Uraka is the only one that goes after her. She kind of wishes that Asui or Sue also went after her. And then they kind of get into this struggle moment here where she's trying to stab her. And then she's like, what do you want to do with me? And she's saying just that, like, why aren't you validating my feelings, essentially, I think is how Toga is perceiving this. And she even indicated that earlier, like, all these pent-up feelings and all these questions are making her feel icky, so she wants to go ask to find out. And basically, Uraka's answer was, I'll catch you right now. She said she wanted to save everybody that she possibly could, and that basically she's going to stop. She's not going to kill Toga, but she wants to stop her from her rampage, essentially. She wants to stop her from hurting other people. Toga is even questioning, like, what a hero is. Like, she's like, if the logic is that heroes save people, then wouldn't Twice be a hero? And being that a hero killed Twice, who is perceived as a villain, what does that then make that hero? These are the questions that are kind of going through Toga's mind right now. And I'm wondering if we're going to get kind of more of this interaction, more of an explanation. I mean, obviously, there's going to be an further interaction between Toga and Uraka, unless Toga decides just to kind of dip after that. Looks like for the preview, basically they said the battle's reaching its final stages. So we're 10 episodes deep. I'm not sure if they're breaking this up into 2 cores or not. There might be a break in a couple episodes, because I believe we're getting 24, 25 episodes like we typically do. But I know for a lot of anime, they break it up. Basically there's a couple of weeks or even sometimes up to a month in between the first and second part. But I think what's going to happen is Shigaraki's just going to retreat. Looks like Giga gets to the battlefield here, so I'm assuming he's probably just going to grab Shigaraki and run away. At least that's my guess. I mean, I'm not 100% positive on how that's going to go down. It's called Dabi's Truth, and like Dabi's on TV as well. So something is going to happen with Dabi next episode. Not really sure. I think he wants to kill Endeavor as well. Basically, like, they weren't able to actually kill the number one hero at his peak. All Might. Basically, he just ended up losing his power. He didn't die. So maybe that is Dabi's goal right now, is to try to kill Endeavor, to make the world feel more hopeless. That heroes are actually going to be able to do something against them. That's kind of my guess of what's the plan is. I mean, Endeavor's very injured right now. Dabi's not that injured, so it really wouldn't be all that hard for him to kill him. Although with the whole flame resistance thing, I'm not. Well, I mean, to a certain extent, I know Endeavor can definitely overheat, which is why Shoto was cooling him off with the ice. But at this point, being that he used his ultimate move, I mean, he's probably fizzled out. He's probably got like a little ember going on. But I don't know like how heat resistant he actually is to other people's flames and fire. No idea how that's going to pan out. I'm going to give this episode like an 8 out of 10. Just because I felt like they were trying to cram a little bit too much in. Basically, they weren't like kind of like sticking to one storyline. They're kind of like it's kind of like you're going on a quest, and it's like, okay, here's your main quest, but oh wait, before we reach there, here's a couple of side quests. That's kind of like it's like a lot of people, the side quests are important. They definitely add value to the story, but at the same time, it's kind of like, can we save those for later? Let's complete the main quest first, and then go into those other subquests, if you will. That's kind of my feelings towards it, anyway. Because I'm sure, with Toga and Dabi, they're both going to have their own interaction. There's going to be something with Shigaraki, and I think episode 11 is going to kind of feel the same, being that we're probably going to get a couple of different stories. Unless Dabi somehow interacts with Shigaraki's, then maybe it'll get cut down to two different stories, which would make sense. But we'll just have to wait and see. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like. Let me know what you want to see for future anime and cartoon related videos. Let's see what's going to be going on here. So we're going to be doing Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Probably a short clip of that today, like I have been doing. You'll get your Spy X Family most likely tomorrow. Monday, you get your review of Rick and Morty and your clip of Bleach, and then Tuesday is going to be Chainsaw Man. I know this week I did a meme. I think it was yesterday. What did I put that up? Yesterday or the day before? Sometimes I'll throw a meme out there or like a super over way out there reaction, depending on the content of the episode. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, have a good one.